California, is the star of this Super Derby event in 1989. And of course, he was the headline winner in May, dominating the Derby and the Preakness. But since then, he's sort of disappeared from those headline stories. Well, Charles C. Canty has a refresher course for you now.
You remember Sunday Silence, the Cinderella horse who denied Crown Prince Easy Goer his virtually presupposed Kentucky Derby victory. The colt nobody wanted, who became everybody's hero, stealing away the Preakness from Easy Goer in the bravest display of the year. But his Triple Crown dream ended when Easy Goer retaliated in the Belmont Stakes. Sunday Silence went home to California for a well-earned rest. But his vacation was cut short a few weeks later when Charlie Whittingham announced that Sunday Silence would contest the Swap Stakes on July 23rd. A surprising move which led to a shocking defeat.
That day he ducked at where the crossing wasn't, where the gate crosses, we'd pulled it out and it wasn't to rake real good. And he sees anything like that. If you watched him in the Derby, he was ducking and dodging a little bit. Fortunately, he was in front quite a ways, but he was 5 lengths in front, and in 2 jumps, the other, he stopped. He just pulled up, and then when he got going again, it wasn't soon enough.
In retrospect, Sunday Silence's loss to Prized was hardly a disgrace. Then a cough sidelined the colt briefly, but he bounced right back on schedule with a dazzling 1-mile workout at Del Mar in 1:33 2/5.
Yeah, he worked too well at Del Mar. I worked him a mile there, and he equaled the track record 1/5 of a second from it. And the next day, the stake was run in the same time he worked in, but I wasn't expecting quite that fast to work. I wanted a mile about 35 or 6, and he come back well, and so far hasn't hurt him. If it has, he hasn't shown it yet, but if it does, that's a good excuse, I guess.
Charlie also hopes he doesn't have to excuse any more erratic behavior in the stretch. The Halo colt comes by his stormy disposition honestly, both on the track and in his stall.
Well, he kind of throws his head and lips around a little bit in there, and I had to put a little cushion up on top before he'd whack his brains out on it.
Sunday Silence may be difficult and demanding, but for Charlie Whittingham, he's more than worth the trouble.
Ability-wise, he's as good a horse as I've had. He's very quick. He does everything right, and he's a little more, not really temperamental, he's a little more fiery than a lot of them I've had.
Today, Charlie and jockey Pat Valenzuela hope to channel that fire into a Super Derby victory and continue towards a showdown with Easy Goer in November.
Well, Sunday Silence deserves the attention here in the Super Derby and deserves to be odds-on. But we've seen upsets and near upsets before. Le Voyageur surprised a lot of us as he led for most of the 1.5 miles in the Belmont, finishing 3rd in a good effort. But he's moved backwards in his last 2 races. I can't see him pulling a surprise. But what we have are many hoping to pull the upset. It's our own version of trains, planes, and automobiles. Take a look at those who have come from all over to try and beat Sunday Silence and win Super Derby 10.
When the plane arrived from New York, one of the first-class passengers was awe-inspiring, trying to become the 2nd straight Super Derby winner for the Phipps stable and trainer Shug McGahee. And while he's raced in the shadow of stablemate Easy Goer throughout his career, awe-inspiring has bankrolled over $750,000 and won 4 graded stakes this year. His most recent appearance was in the Grade 1 American Derby at Arlington on August 5th. In his usual style, awe-inspiring gradually wore down the pace setters, which included today's rival, Dispersal. Awe-inspiring went on to win by half a length, and while he used the airways to reach Louisiana Downs, Dispersal took the overland route, fanning in from Birmingham following his tally in the Alabama Derby. And according to his trainer, Buddy Delp, that win was just the right tonic.
He needed a confidence builder, and he'd lost a few times, and we skipped the Secretariat, which was the 3rd leg of that Mid-America Triple, in order to go to Birmingham and try to catch an easier spot where he could win, and win big, which is what he did.
Delp believes Dispersal to be second only to the great champion's spectacular bid among horses he's trained. And last spring, comparisons between the two were beginning to surface as Dispersal appeared headed for the Kentucky Derby. But plans changed after the Lexington Stakes in April, when Dispersal disappointed as the 3-5 favorite.
Part of that was greenness, and part of it was the chronic shin problem that he had. He's been plagued with that ever since he was 2. And hopefully that's all behind us. And we've run 10 times now, and we've got a sort of a veteran out there now. He's not that green coat that you saw in Keeneland this spring.
And he'll need every bit of his newfound maturity to handle the toughest assignment of his racing career. But as usual, Delp shows a good deal of confidence in his colt.
He's thinking big time right now, and he better be thinking it because this is big time. And the shins are fine. He's going into it good. I think he's going to run a good race.
Meanwhile, Big Earl waits here at home to take on the shippers for owner-trainer Jerry Cart. This $5,500 purchase has earned over $230,000, most of it right here at Louisiana Downs. Included was this sharp effort 3 weeks ago in the Prelude Stakes over the other local entrant, Dale's Shotgun. Now, Big Earl has speed, and local runners with that precious commodity have narrowly missed winning the Super Derby on 3 different occasions, including last year when Seeking the Gold beat the local hero, Happy as a Lark Tomas, by only a neck.
La Voyageur makes his way towards the paddock here. One of our top contenders here. The horses come over from France for Calumet. We'll be back in a moment.
I went to Louisiana with a lot of confidence. I'd won the Belmont. And then I freshened him up all through this race here. Then I went back to New York in the Jerome. He ran very fast. So we decided on Louisiana. And I came there with a lot of confidence. My horse did well. And he went on to win, but I felt he would win.
Dogwood Stable recognizes the thoroughbred owners of today, yesterday, and especially tomorrow. Super Derby 6 winner Creme Fraiche, classic winner of the 1985 Belmont Stakes, made dreams come true for new thoroughbred owner Elizabeth Moran.
Well, I started out in steeplechasing, and because of all the fun and enjoyment I was having there, I thought I would try some flat racing. I went down to Kentucky and fortunately purchased Creme Fraiche. He's been a super runner, and he's earned for me $4,200,000.
Dogwood Stable, Aiken, South Carolina, through its partnerships, has brought over 600 new people into racing. Dogwood is happy to have paid this tribute to the owner, the unsung hero of American racing.
The jockey and the thoroughbred, they race to win. And the key to winning is teamwork. The thoroughbred and the jockey. The best team in sports. See the best team in sports at a track near you.
During the golden age of Rome, Caesar treated his guests to magical evenings. 2,000 years later, he still does. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
The stars continue to arrive. There's the Superstar, Sunday Silence, the Derby and Preakness winner, just went through the screen there as the fans are heading to the windows here to get their bets down on the 10th race of the afternoon. Let's update you now on the odds here at Louisiana Downs. Awe-inspiring is at 8-1, Big Earl at 18, La Voyageur at 19, Dale's Shotgun at 35-1. Dispersal is the second choice right now at 7-1. Brujo, not a lot of respect with Julio Canani's colt from California at 50-1. Sunday Silence now at 1-5. Has more than $36,000 bet on him for first place. Give you an idea, the next closest, Dispersal, has $5,200 bet on him. Harmony Creek at 25-1 rounds out the field. Well, activity is picking up in the paddock area here at Louisiana Downs as the horses have arrived. Let's go over there now to Charles C. Candy.
Well, thank you, Chris. They're all drifting in. The valets are waiting with the tack to saddle these 8 horses for the Super Derby. And since he was first in the paddock, we'll take a look at Le Voyageur. As Dave said earlier, he's the colt who shipped over from France and finished 3rd in the Belmont, but his form seems to have gone backwards since then. In fact, the whole situation has gotten curiouser and curiouser. He's still eligible for non-winners other than maiden or claiming, and yet Patrick Biancombe keeps seeking out the very best of the 3-year-old races to run this colt. And surely Patrick Biancombe knows exactly what he's doing. He trained all along in Triptych. He's a very noted trainer, but maybe he knows more about this colt than we do, but he seems to be up against it today. Awe-inspiring, number 1. He has got quite an entourage. Denny Phipps and his wife Andy are here. Shug McGahee has arrived. They walked over with this colt. He's probably got the best chance of staging an upset here today. He comes from well off the pace, and although this is a speed-favoring racetrack, it would appear that he's really suited for the distance, and he could just be a factor through the stretch there. Well, we're all here for the Super Derby. This is a race we always look forward to because Louisiana Downs is really one of our most popular stops on this Racing Across America series. It's an innovative, dynamic, and successful plant, very much like the man who founded it. And right now, Chris Lincoln will introduce him to you.
Preparation, competition, winning. It's the key formula in both sports and business. No one in the history of American sports or business has done it as well as this man, Edward J. DeBartolo. From his world corporate headquarters in Youngstown, Ohio, the soft-spoken billionaire has worked his entire life to build a corporation that has developed, owns, and/or manages nearly 86 million square feet of retail space and another 18 million square feet of office and commercial property. The DeBartolo Corporation is the largest investor in thoroughbred racing, with major tracks in Ohio, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. They own the Pittsburgh Penguins of the National Hockey League, and of course the 80s most successful pro football team, the 3-time world champion San Francisco 49ers. Just up the street from the corporate offices in Youngstown is the home that Edward J. DeBartolo built and has lived in for the past 33 years. Since his wife died almost 2 years ago, he has thrown himself even more into his work schedule and currently has over 82 projects in the development and planning stages.
For instance, this morning I was here 4:45. I usually get here about 5:30 in the morning, every morning when I'm in town. And my days are 14, 15 hours long, and I work every day of the week. I even work on holidays. I've never been known to take a vacation. So her unfortunate death just accelerated my work habits.
He has applied those work habits to the 3 thoroughbred racetracks he owns.
One of the things that is important that we do, and we make sure that when a patron comes into a racetrack, that he's courteous from them, treated courteously from the minute he parks his car till he leaves the plant. And we make sure that our food and beverage operation is the best. And I can say this, that our food and beverage operation is unequaled in racing. And of course, the courteousness inside is important. The cleanliness of a track, and good racing surfaces and good barn areas. The whole thing is what makes good racing.
From a man who has been making headlines for over 4 decades in business and sports, and with his generous gifts to his alma mater and many other charities, this humble man, who has been friends of presidents and popes, shared some of his thoughts on business and success.
I must admit that the most pleasure I get is my own business. I love it. A lot of excitement connected with it. Only bad thing about it is that the years just fly. My success is my family. Eddie Jr., Marie Denise, my son and my daughter, and Marie Denise's 4 children, Eddie's 3 girls, and the numerous friends that I've developed in Youngstown. I think my main contribution to any success that I've had is, first, my willingness to work around the clock. Secondly, I took many a shot at many a deal that was problematical in a gamble, and I never backed away from a situation like that. I went straight ahead always. And I would say that in my lifetime, I never took a backward step in business or anything.
Some secrets of success are also known by that man, the bald eagle of California, Charlie Whittingham, with Sunday Sonnets, and the pressure is on him.
Well, all three winners were very satisfying. They were great winners, but the one that stick in my mind was the one with Sonny Cello, because he was so impressive. He won very easily. He won by, I think, about 10 lengths, something like that, and he did it so easily. I think that was by far his best race, I would say.
The most memorable moments in NFL history can now be yours in an all-new video cassette collection. Presenting the official NFL Films video collection from NFL Films, Fox Hills, and Time Life. Now you can replay the greatest games, the mammoth feats of the legendary linemen, the suspense of the Super Bowls, and more. Kick off your collection with the toughest, most explosive players in the game. They're all part of your first video cassette, Crunch Course. Just $14.99 plus shipping and handling. The official NFL Films video collection. Here's how to order.
NFL fans, call now 1-800-544-1000 to get your first video cassette, Crunch Course, at the low introductory price of just $14.99. Or send 1822 to NFL Video Collection, P.O. Box 121, Plainville, Connecticut.
Sometimes you know when you've made a difference.
Unit 14 on the scene.
Somehow you found the time.
We're going to take good care of you.
You learned the skills.
Take the airway.
You met the challenges. And now you are the difference between life and death.
BP and rate are stable, looking good.
Make a difference with your life. Be a part of your local emergency medical services. Volunteer or start a career. A public service message from Quantum Chemical Corporation.
Glad to be in America, back in the good old USA. I've been missing my baby, the sweet green earth, and a pure, simple meal made America's way.
A lean quarter pounder hot off the grill with crispy golden fries.
America's meat and potatoes.
I'm home.
That's McDonald's.
Oh, no.
Fall out for October excitement on ESPN. NFL Dream Season peaks as the best ever team is crowned at the Dream Bowl. The fall colors are spectacular on college football Saturdays. Top golfers shoot for the game's richest prize at the Nabisco Championships. The USA continues its battle for a World Cup soccer berth, while Olympic hopefuls seek a spot on America's World Championship gymnastics team. All in October on ESPN.
And we are back at Louisiana Downs, where the horses are on the track for the Super Derby. Here they are. Number 1 is Awe-Inspiring, making his first start since August 5th when he won the American Derby. There's plenty of early pace to set up his stretch drive, and the 1.25 mile distance couldn't be better for him. And Louisiana native Craig Perrette is his regular rider. Number 2 is Big Earl. He is a $5,500 Keeneland weanling. He's a hard-knocking Louisiana-bred gelding who's really consistent and versatile. But he was off the board in his only graded stakes attempt, and he's in even tougher than that today. And Louisiana Downs leading rider Don Howard has the mount.
Well, Chauncey, the famed Devil Red Silks of Calumet Farm on La Voyageur, 3rd in the Belmont Stakes to Easy Goer and Sunday Silence, 5th in the Haskell, then 5th by almost 26 lengths in the Travers. Back to try Grade 1 competition again. Randy Romero is the rider, 2-time riding champion here. This is 4th Super Derby. His best finish ever has been 3rd. The 4 horses, Dale's Shotgun, just making his 2nd stakes start. 2nd in the $100,000 Prelude here is the prep for this. 1st in 2 allowance races here. The local horse ridden by Shane Romero, his first Super Derby for this native of New Iberia, Louisiana.
A $45,000 Keeneland yearling is next, number 5, Dispersal, and he had the talent to win the Louisiana Derby in only his 3rd lifetime start. Some shin trouble is behind him now. He's got early speed and a big heart after winning the Alabama Derby. 4th leading rider of all times, George Velasquez, is aboard. Number 6 is Brujo, another one of Julio Canani's crafty claims. He haltered this one last year for $50,000. He went on to be second in both the Hollywood Juvenile and the Del Mar Futurity. He won the El Cajon last out, but the distance is a real question. Robbie Davis, who's riding better than ever, is up.
Here's the big horse now, the Star. Sunday Silence, a $17,000 Keeneland bargain that everybody tried to get rid of. Unfortunately, the Hancocks and the Whittingham and Gellert all got a share of them. Sunday Silence, the winner of the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, of course, second in the swaps in his last start, had that super work at Del Mar. And Pat Valenzuela, who's ridden him 9 of 10 starts, is here for the ride on Sunday Silence, the 1-5 favorite. Rounding out the field is Harmony Creek. Washington Bred has won 3 of his last 4 starts, all at Long Acres. His last outing 3rd in the Long Acres Mile. Keep an eye on him, though, because Harmony Creek has one of the best riders going. The latest Hall of Famer, Chris McCarron. He just went over the 5,000 mark in wins. This, his 4th Super Derby. He won it in '87, of course, on Horse of the Year, Ali Sheba. And that is the Super Field for Super Derby 10. Well, we talked about the 1-5 favorite, Sunday Silence. Awe-Inspiring is now moved in as the 2nd choice at 9-2. And Dispersal is now the 3rd choice. Those are the favorites. How about a long shot? We need a super long shot for the day. And here he is.
Our Budweiser Longshot, Harmony Creek, has already finished first in one Super Derby category, having traveled the most miles to reach Louisiana Downs. The Washington Bred also brought along some respectable credentials, including an impressive win in the Long Acres Derby in August. This victory by Harmony Creek at 1 mile and 3/16 followed a 3-month layoff and sealed the Super Derby plans for trainer Bill Tollett. And the 26-year veteran of the racing wars at Long Acres warns against taking his colt too lightly.
He's the best colt I've ever had, for sure. And I've been around a lot of nice horses, not only trained them, but around them. And like I've raced it all over California and everything. And I think this horse is going to surprise people. I think he will compete with the best. If I didn't think that, I wouldn't be here.
And if we didn't think so, we certainly wouldn't be selecting Harmony Creek as our Budweiser Longshot.
And if Harmony Creek pulls this one off, he'll be able to buy enough Budweiser for this entire crowd of 24,000. He's 20-1 right now. Opened at 15, Chris McCarron and Harmony Creek, the Budweiser Longshot.
When he turned for home, why Precisions was 8 lengths in front of him, and if you run the film today, you still don't think he's got a chance to catch him, and he really turned on a blast to catch that other horse. Going up the backside, we were laying just perfect, and I had given Chris instructions. I said, just get him to the outside when you head up the backside where he's in the passing lane, and he'll do it from there.
Another Breeders' Cup Championship moment. As the November daylight faded at historic Churchill Downs, Ali Sheba sought to capture the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic and become the richest thoroughbred in racing history.
Ali Sheba with a short lead. He's unyielding, seeking the goal. A final move as they come to the wire. And Ali Sheba, America's horse, has done it.
For Horse of the Year, Ali Sheba, this was his Breeders' Cup Championship moment.
For the fire, for the drive, for pushing hard each time you try, for the hero staying true, for the team for coming through. This one's for you.
In '88, she won her 3rd consecutive world title and 10th world championship. She's Bernie Little's Miss Budweiser.
This blood's for you.
Even the best conventional tracks go bad in adverse weather. Rain, snow, freezing temperatures, arid conditions. Uncertainties until Equitrack entered the race.
Running a track, you watch for problems. Trying to increase handle, how to attract better horses, fewer lost race days. we have Equitrack.
Equitrack, a safer, consistent surface. Equitrack, the all-weather surface for racing and training.
Night thoroughbred racing at the Meadowland. The Meadowland. We fill the place with winners 10 times a night.
For a year, they planned for their Super Derby. They're now 5 minutes away from running the 10th edition in 1989 as we update you on the odds here. The big crowd at the windows, awe-inspiring, has now moved to a second choice of 4-1. Big Earl is 18, La Voyageur at 17-1, and Dale Shotgun is at 45. Dispersal now third choice of the fans here at 7-1. Brujo at 30-1. Sunday Silence is now at 2-5 after opening at even money and has now had almost $60,000 bet to win on him. Harmony Creek at 19-1. And all eyes and a lot of dollars are on the black colt from California, Sunday Silence, Pat Valenzuela, warming him up there. Now let's go to the Daily Racing Forum inside with two reporters for us, Mark Gordon and Bill Valentine.
Jack Valentine and I have come to the conclusion that there's three horses that we really want to look at for the Super Derby. The first one is Sunday Silence, the Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner.
When you have a horse that's won the Kentucky Derby in the field, you have to take a real close look at him. Even though he hasn't started for 2 months, he's worked spectacularly since then. Even though his mile work between races at Del Mar was 1:33.2, he's worked quite well since he arrived here. And he's also a multiple Grade 1 winner. He's shown the ability to get the distance and carry the weight. And he has one other thing in his favor, and that he has speed.
Dispersal is another horse that has to be considered. After early shin problems, he's come on well for trainer Buddy Delp. His last race may well have been his best one. He ran the truest and straightest course under Jorge Velasquez, who ride him for the second straight time this afternoon, winning by 9 lengths in track record time at the Birmingham Race Course in Alabama. But the horse that beat him, Awe-Inspiring, beat him a half length in the American Derby, and he also is one to consider.
Awe-Inspiring doesn't really have the running style that fits the Super Derby. It's a speed racetrack. The Super Derby is usually won by a horse who's in front or close to the pace, but he's a multiple Grade 1 winner, and he's also shown the ability to get the distance under the weight.
Well, as you see, they're getting close to the gate, and I understand that Harmony Creek is being resaddled down at the starting gate. Retightened anyway, but he's back and ready to jog a little bit before they move into the starting gate. Well, as I look at the field, Sunday Silence is just plain fast, much faster than the competitors. Outside post position, yes, but a long run to the first turn, so he shouldn't lose any ground. Pat Valenzuela will be fine. He'll get good position. The fact that they all carry level weights also is a break for Sunday Silence. Now, Awe-Inspiring is good. He's a solid performer, but he's just not with the class of Sunday Silence. So I expect him to be in the money, though, and I also expect Harmony Creek to move forward a bit. He could be in the money. Sunday Silence is the closest thing to a sure thing as I've ever seen. I think he's going to win, and I think he's going to win big.
All right, Dave, and there he is, Sunday Silence, and the fans sure love him here at 2-5 now. And, of course, one of the questions always is when you ship into a new racetrack, and Chelsea, for Sunday Silence, he's had a work or two here. What have you heard about the racing surface, Louisiana Downs? Well, the track here in Louisiana Downs is a little bit different than what these horses are used to racing. Most the shippers are, most anywhere else. It's a little looser, a little deeper. In the past, there's been a lot of red clay in it. There seems to be more sand in it this year. But some of the horses shipping in from out of town haven't worked quite the way their trainers would have liked. So sometimes you think maybe a little home court advantage might be helpful. That's why the local horses seem to kind of run big in this race. Well, there is Awe-Inspiring, the #1 horse, of course, from Denny Mill Phipps in the Phipps stable, trained by Shook McGahee. And I couldn't help but note, Shook McGahee never backs down from anyone. In fact, he called Awe-Inspiring the second best 3-year-old in American racing today. We know who the first one is in his mind. Well, Easy Goer. Where's that leave Sunday Silence? Well, actually, what happens is Easy Goer being #1, and Denny Phipps, who owns Awe-Inspiring, calls him jokingly 1A. A pretty tough stable, that's for sure. And Shook McGahee is in here to saddle today. Craig Perrett riding as usual. And as the horses There's a good shot there of Craig Perrette, a native of New Orleans.
He knows a thing or two about Cajun catfish, I'll tell you.
He does indeed. I'll tell you, they roll out the red carpet. Everybody's enjoyed their time here at the Super Derby. Awe-inspiring. Looks like he is ready to go now. You know, Lavoisier remains still an enigma in this racing, and now that you had a good point earlier of Patrick just keeps firing him back against the very best.
Which makes you feel like somewhere he knows something up his sleeve. I don't know.
Stakes and track record, one and the same. Jack Van Berg trained Gate Dancer, 1984. Covered the 1.25 miles in just over 2 minutes. Charles C., I wonder the way this track has been, would that be threatened at all today?
I wouldn't think so, Chris, because it has been a little looser and cuppier, and the times haven't been all that fast, so I doubt that would be threatened today.
George Velasquez going in on dispersal. Let's go now to the top of the stands. Dave Johnson, who will be calling.
And Pat Valenzuela adjusts the goggles. Sun goggles this afternoon. And the last horse, the Bud Longshot, Harmony Creek, moves into line. We're ready for Super Derby 10. All in line. And they're off. Big Earl toward the inside, quickly up to take command. Then Brujo, who's really leaning on dispersal, and Le Voyageur. Now as they pass the stands for the first time, Le Voyageur in hand is up to challenge Big Earl at the rail. Big Earl with Donnie Howard in front by half a length. Le Voyageur is second. Then Dispersal is racing third. Brujo is in fourth position by a length and a half. Sunday Silence, the favorite, is fifth, just 3.5 off the lead. Dale's Shotgun on the inside is next. Harmony Creek races seventh, and Awe-Inspiring is eighth and last, 9 lengths from the leader, who is Big Earl, the 21-to-1 shot. And it's Big Earl on the inside, leading it by a neck as Le Voyageur now moves alongside to challenge. The battle on the front end. Le Voyageur puts a head in front. Big Earl back into the second spot, and Dispersal is third at this point. Sunday Silence has moved into fourth on the inside and is saving a bit of ground, well in hand with jockey Pat Valenzuela. Now moving through between horses. The 4 top ones are tightly bunched, and Pat Valenzuela looks for some racing room and finds it on the inside of Le Voyageur. Le Voyageur in front by a neck. Sunday Silence is in second position. Dispersal on the outside is racing third. Rather slow fractions, 1:12 and 1 for 3/4 mile. And on the inside, it's Sunday Silence in front. Never been asked to run so far. Dispersal on the outside second. Le Voyageur is third. Big Earl is fourth now. Awe-Inspiring gains ground fifth. Brujo is sixth on the outside as Le Voyageur gets pinched back, and Harmony Creek is eighth and last. As they straighten away in the stretch, on the inside, Sunday Silence. On the outside, that's Dispersal. Awe-Inspiring is gaining with every stride, and down the stretch they come, and Sunday Silence roars out, leaving the field behind with a 1/16 of a mile to go. He's in front by 9. Through the stretch, it's all Sunday Silence, and he takes Super Derby 10 by 7 lengths. It was Big Earl between horses finishing second. Then on the outside, it was Awe-Inspiring, followed at the rail by Dispersal, who was fourth. Really a tremendous comeback performance by Sunday Silence, who lost his last 2 and then comes back this afternoon with Super Derby 10 in 2 minutes 3 and 1/5 seconds.
All 2 seconds off the stakes and track record, but Sunday Silence has returned and may have returned also, at least right now, as the second best thoroughbred in American racing, next to Easy Goer. And this gives certainly the camp of Easy Goer something to think about, because he really dominated this field here today. Sunday Silence, the unofficial winner. Pat Valenzuela looks over his shoulder. The competition is way behind.
Hi, I'm Pete Ellis with a straightforward message to you cable viewers. I'm one of the largest Jeep Eagle dealers in the United States, and I'll sell you a brand new '89 Jeep Cherokee this weekend for original factory invoice. You heard right, original factory invoice, plus you get a $1,000 factory rebate. Just dial 1-800-227-PETE, ask for our Jeep sales manager, 1-800-227-PETE, and that's the truth. Pete Ellis, Dodge and Jeep Eagle. Pete Ellis Ford.
Welcome to the new Don's Carpets, Linoleum, and Draperies. We've relocated to 500 North Sepulveda in Manhattan Beach.
But don't worry, we still have the same great prices and service we've had for the last 30 years.
Like Armstrong Designer Solarian Vinyl, regularly $25.95 a square yard, now $20.95. And Starlight 55-ounce nylon plush, regularly $21.95 a square yard, now $15.95.
New location, same great selection, service, great deals.
help your home sell faster? Protect the major appliances. If your real estate company can't do that, then you're not listed with the right real estate company. Because you're not listed with an ERA broker. Which real estate company should you work for? If the company can't make selling homes faster and easier, you haven't found the right real estate company. Because you haven't found an ERA broker.
Hi, I'm Jakob Smirnov for Best Western Hotels. When we came to America, my mom and dad thought Columbus was the guy who discovered Ohio. So I gave them this free Best Western travel guide. It's full of maps, travel tips, and many locations with senior citizen rates. They liked it so much that ever since they've been in the car discovering America with their Best Western travel guide. Hi, Mom. Hi. They'll like it even better when they learn to drive.
Well, smiles all around from Pat Valenzuela and Charlie Whittingham and Arthur Hancock there as Sunday Silence returns a 7-length winner of Super Derby 10. But the roar from the crowd went up when the numbers were posted unofficially because their horse, the 2-horse, Big Earl, owned and trained by Jerry Cart, ridden by Donnie Howard, the horse that won the Prelude, the prep for this, was officially placed second ahead of the mighty Grade 1 winner, awe-inspiring from the Phipps stable. 2:03-1, again, just a little over, just in fact 3 seconds exactly over the stakes and track record of Gate Dancer. But I haven't seen a smile on Pat's face like that since, I guess, the Preakness Stakes in Maryland. That, of course, was the 3rd week of May. And now, as the jockeys, the official weighing in here to make this race official. And you see now Craig Perrette in the background there is on the phone. So Craig Perrette might have a little complaint with the way things are going. He's talking to the stewards. Let's see if we can see what he might be concerned about, Dave, as we take another look.
On the inside, that's Sunday Silence. Pat Valenzuela wearing the yellow cap. Alongside is Buddy Delp's horse Dispersal, and just behind Sunday Silence is the horse who will finish second unofficially. That's Big Earl. And now, awe-inspiring, that's Craig Perrette's mount. He's the one on the phone. He's sort of between Brujo on the outside and Dale's Shotgun. That I don't really know what his problem with the stewards is right now. It might be later in the contest. In any event, watch two things. Watch how easily Sunday Silence wins. At the same time, look at all the other jockeys flailing away trying to catch him. The semi-slow fraction set by the Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner just made it impossible to catch this horse in the stretch. He is speed. He has revealed that he is back and ready for Breeders' Cup competition and ready for Easy Goer. A dramatic performance in the Super Derby.
Well, the objection, we understand, is between awe-inspiring, who unofficially finished 3rd, and I believe Dale's Shotgun, the horse that finished 5th. So we'll try to figure this out for you. Sunday Silence and the Hancocks and the Whittinghams and Gillards all gather in the winner's circle here at Louisiana Downs to celebrate their Super Derby victory. It's not official, but again, the objection does not involve the winner, Sunday Silence, as he rolls to victory.
You know, Thrifty Car Rental has variety for everyone.
I can rent a new car from Thrifty and save money, money, money. Oh, yeah.
Enjoy great luxury and great savings at Thrifty. Rent a new Chrysler New Yorker, just $36.95 a day with a 7-day advance reservation.
Thrifty, a lot of car rental company. For incredibly little. Call 1-800 for cars and away you go.
What do you have? Give me 2 pizza puffs, chili dog. Excuse me. Gus.
1 minute.
Sorry. Give me 2 pizza puffs, a chili dog, a large.
Hey, Lord.
Gus, I told you, to be hot dog kings, we need lots of Bud Light. Not Bull Blood?
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Now what do you think? It's beautiful.
Because everything else is just a light.
Hey, what about my pizza puffs?
At Three Chimneys Farm, every day is race day. The farm
3 chimneys. The idea is excellence.
The Eclipse Award of Merit, the top honor in thoroughbred racing, was presented this year to Edward J. DeBartolo, the leading owner of thoroughbred racetracks in America, featuring Remington Park in Oklahoma City, the most innovative facility in the history of racing, Louisiana Downs, home of the $1 Million Super Derby, and Thistledown, the newly remodeled showpiece for the Ohio Derby. Remington Park, Louisiana Downs, Thistledown, the 3 jewels that crown the Eclipse Award-winning DeBartolo Corporation's commitment to the sport of kings.
Welcome back to the Super Derby, where they're about to make it official. The objection sign is down. There you see the Gallards, the Whittinghams, the Hancocks, and Tom Sweeney, the head man of the Louisiana Downs, with the Super Derby 10 blanket and the trophy. The objection, Dale's shotgun against the third-place finisher awe-inspiring, has been disallowed. Chelsea?
Well, this isn't the first time Shug McGahee's finished behind Sunday Silence, but Shug, it really didn't set up perfectly for you today.
No, this is more of a speed favoring racetrack. We knew that coming down there, and really didn't have any big visions of, you know, that we could win if Sunday Silence ran his race. But, you know, if he possibly were to stub his toe, this horse runs hard. He ran hard today, but we had to let him move a little bit sooner than you'd, you know, probably really like. And he could have hung a little bit the last part of it to be third, but he ran fine.
All right, there's Sunday Silence. You see how he looks. What does this mean for you and Easy Goer?
It looks like I better have him right on Breeders' Cup Day, so, you know, that's what our planning is going to be. And how we do it, we'll just have to wait and see.
It'll be an interesting fall. See you down the road. We go back to Chris Lincoln.
All right, and with us now is Pat Valenzuela. Pat, I've remarked I hadn't seen a smile like that on you since, I guess, Pimlico, right, in the Preakness.
You're probably right, Chris. I mean, this horse has kind of confused us, but he finally ran his race today, and Charlie straightened out a lot of things with him. He's put a shadow roll on him, and he's done other things, training him.
Pat, we're going to take a look now. Pick it up on the backstretch, Pat, and tell us what's going on here as Sunday Silence getting ready to make his move.
Well, he's dragging me right here. I'm not asking him at all. He's just dragging me up to horses, and without choking him, I wanted him to run his race, and he cruised up right here, and Charlie was a little concerned probably with me getting the lead, but he did it so easy, and he was all business today. He never wanted to stop and just kept running.
Pat, you've always rated him #1. You're chasing Easy Goer in everybody's mind. What did this race tell you today about Sunday Silence? Where does he stand with you?
He's still #1 in my book. Easy Goer is a very good horse. When we come together, I think it's going to show who's the better horse. Well, not who's the better horse, but who's going to get luckier, I think, because we both have good horses.
You do indeed. Pat, congratulations. Good to see a smile on your face again.
Thank you, Chris.
Pat Valenzuela, there he is, celebrating Sunday Silence's tremendous 7-length win in a $100 million race. $600,000 for Sunday Silence, $60,000 for Pat Valenzuela.
I send you for a Bud Light, and you bring back...
Well, if you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
So, there are no men here, there's an unlimited supply of Bud Light, and we can never leave.
Correct.
Because everything else is just a light.
We can live with that. Yeah.
Come be part of the tradition of excellence at Frank's Farms, Southland Division, Ocala, Florida. Frank's Farms makes available to the breeder with any budget the sire lines of Northern Dancer, Raise a Native, Leafard's Wish, Aladar, Sovereign Dancer, and Mr. Prospector. The Southland Division's 1,000-acre farm features a complete facility for breeding, boarding, breaking, and training. Be part of the tradition of one of America's leading thoroughbred owners, the multiple Eclipse Award-winning Frank's Farms, Southland Division, Ocala, Florida.
In the glory days of Rome, Caesar entertained his guests with the most spectacular sporting events in all the empire. 2,000 years later, he still does. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
One of the recent stars of the American turf, Al Mamoon, course record setter at Hollywood Park in the Inglewood. He won or placed in 14 graded stakes on turf and dirt. Al Mamoon, standing at the Cardiff Stud Farms of California.
Turfway Park, one of America's fastest moving racetracks.
It's official. Sunday Silence's Super Derby 10, the fans say here, and here are the prices now. $280, $260, $220. Big Earl, the local $780, $220. Awe-inspiring third for $2.20. Let's go to Dave Johnson now for a little bonus race coverage.
Take a look at the stretch drive of the Ruffian Handicap from this afternoon at Belmont Park. 1 1/8 miles, a fast but dull racing strip, 200,000 added. Bayakoa, the number 2 horse, with Pinkai on the inside, going for her 5th Grade 1 win this year. And Open Mind on the outside, number 5, who is in the middle of the screen right there, has won 10 straight stakes races. She will finish 3rd. The horse toward the rail is Colonial Waters, who will finish 2nd. It's Bayakoa in 1:48.2 in the Ruffian.
All right, thank you, David. A little bonus coverage there for that very big race, the Fillies and Mares at Belmont Park. Our thanks to the New York Racing Association and the Teleview Productions here for all their help locally as well, especially Rusty Scroggins and his gang in video there. Sunday Silence has returned. Sunday Silence now goes to $3.2 million in earnings as the Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner comes on to win the Super Derby 10 by 7 lengths. And, of course, is now moving up against Easy Goer. And I'll tell you, a Kentucky Derby winner also has never lost the Super Derby, and that remains intact today. Super Derby 10 from Louisiana Downs has been brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By the Thoroughbred Racing Associations, assuring the highest racing standards. Louisiana Downs is a TRA member track. By Dogwood Stable, originator of the multiple ownership concept for racehorses. The DeBartolo Corporation, building today for the next century. By the Carter Stud Farms of California. And by the Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship. Ground transportation for ESPN, provided by Thrifty Car Rental. For reservations at over 700 locations worldwide, call Thrifty at 1-800-4CARS. Charts and statistics courtesy of the Daily Racing Form, America's Turf Authority. And so perhaps the next time Sunday Silence and Easy Goer meet, the purse will be $3 million for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Sunday Silence has shown, though, he has returned to top form by winning Super Derby 10. This has been an ESPN Sports presentation.
United Airlines, from the ground up, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.